Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Hallie and I'm so happy that you're here. Happy late Valentine's Day. I thought it would be so cute to read all pink books in honor of Valentine's Day. I feel like the entire month of February is just like the month of love and pink things. So I went ahead and picked some books from my February TBR that had pink covers. The three books that I have chosen: Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I think I'm like 40% through this, but I've been listening to it on audiobook, and I actually stopped the audiobook because I felt so emotionally invested in the characters that I was like, okay, I feel like I want to stop and have the full reading experience with this because the story is just already getting me. I'm just emotionally invested. The second book I want to get to in this video is Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. This one I thought would be perfect for this video because part of the main plot of this book does happen on Valentine's Day. It's technically, I think, is it a dark romance? I don't actually know. No, I think someone commented that it's not a dark romance. I just made that up. Anyway, I've been reading this on my Kindle and I'm really enjoying this so far. And then the last book, My Dark Romeo, this actually is also by Parker S. Huntington and L.J. Shen. So they co-authored, I don't know. They wrote it together. I also did start this one because it's on Kindle Unlimited. The thing about this one is that the male main character is like dark and brooding and like grumpy. I see what people are saying. Like whenever they say he's just rude, like he's just straight up mean and it's annoying. It's not like grumpy sunshine. It's like he actually is just a terrible mean guy. I see what people are saying and I'm really interested to just see where the plot goes and like if there is any redemption for him throughout the plot, if that makes sense. But who knows? I'm not there yet. So these are the three books that I want to read in this video. I'm so excited. Valentine's Day is actually in a couple of days, so I just think it's the perfect time. I'm going to be reading all pink books the week of Valentine's Day. I am going to start off by reading some more of Darling Venom. I really want to get into Love in Other Words, but I really think this is going to be my favorite book of the video, so I don't want to finish it first. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back into Darling Venom, but I am going to read it on my Kindle. I'm going to read for just a little bit and then I think I'm going to take a shower and change into some pajamas and like read in bed or read on the couch or somewhere else, but I want to start off my night reading in my chair upright so I can like get into the book without getting too cozy first, because sometimes if I start out on my bed I'm just like, you know what, I think I'll just watch a movie and go to sleep. So I need to like get in the story while I'm sitting up and then we'll get cozy afterwards. So yeah, let's get started. Oh my gosh, I ended up sitting here and reading for so much longer than I anticipated. It's 12:32 now. Things just kept happening in the book. It's not like it's been crazy. It's not even like plot twists have happened. I think I'm just in the right mood for the book because I'm just so intrigued to see what is gonna happen next. Further updates in just a little bit. First, I just want to take a quick shower and get cozy. Speaking of being cozy and comfortable, I'm so excited to share the sponsor of today's video, Parade. I'm so excited to be working with Parade because if you've watched my videos before, you know that I am always trying to be as cozy as possible, and I feel like 9 times out of 10 on my channel I'm just wearing like a giant sweatshirt. But the issue that I always run into is if I try and put on a bra underneath my sweatshirt, it just instantly ruins the cozy feeling of wearing a super oversized soft sweatshirt. Because of that, I always would just end up going braless, but sometimes that's just not the vibe. Sometimes I want a little bit more support, or if I'm wearing like a thinner t-shirt but I'm vlogging, I need something to provide me a little bit more coverage. And let me tell you, Parade has solved all of my problems. Right now I'm actually wearing their vintage soft scoop bralette in the color Bubblegum Pop. This is so soft. I have been living in these bralettes and that's so unheard of for me. I have been sleeping in these. I just have been absolutely loving them. I actually got this bra in 3 different colors. I got the Poseidon color, which is such a pretty, just deep blue. I also got the color Bubble Bath, which is such a pretty light blue. Recently I've been loving wearing this color. These bralettes are actually made from from a material called New Cotton. Parade's New Cotton material is actually made from upcycled cotton, and it is made using 95% less water than traditional cotton. But I just love it because it feels like wearing a t-shirt while it's still being supportive, if that makes sense. I feel like normally for bras to feel supportive, you either have the underwire or it kind of squeezes you so tight to where you just like want it off because it's creasing into your body. But this just feels like a t-shirt made specifically for my boobs, and I have been loving it. You can even see just like the stretch of the material, and I wish that you guys could feel it because it's genuinely so soft and smooth on my body. I also genuinely love Parade because they really prioritize inclusivity in their brand, with not only showcasing bodies of all different colors but also all different sizes. Their products range from sizes extra small to 3XL, which I think is absolutely incredible because I know it can be so hard for women of all shapes and sizes to find things that fit perfectly, especially for a good price. Which brings me to my next thing that I just absolutely love about Parade is you don't have to break the bank to get cute and comfortable things for yourself. They're genuinely so affordable, and to make it even better, you can actually use my code HOW40 to get 40% off of your order until the end of the month. This is crazy. I also wanted to show you guys this little lace set that I have in case you're looking for something a little bit more on the lingerie side rather than everyday wear. I have this little lilac set. This is the perfect lace triangle bralette. I love this. It is like a stretchy lace. I've had lace sets before that are so stiff and scratchy that it's not enjoyable to wear, but the lace on this is so soft and stretchy, and even the bands that are lining it have like this cotton material on the inside so that the bands, even though they hold you and support you, don't end up like scratching you, how a lot of lace sets can be like scratchy. But I have this top, and then these are the matching bottoms to that. These are the perfect lace mid-rise thongs. This goes together with this top, which I absolutely love. They have so many options on their website in so many different sizes and so many different styles. So again, either click the link in my description or go to Parade's website and use my code HOW40 to get 40% off of your order until the end of the month. And thank you again so much to Parade for sponsoring this portion of today's video. I just got out of the shower, got all my skincare on. There truly is no other feeling like getting in bed covered in all of your favorite skincare brands, lips moisturized, oil in your hair. Anyway, I made it 51% through the book. I made it to chapter 53, and I have thoughts. First of all, one of the main plot points of this book really caught me off guard. On the cover, it says, "My first love ended in tragedy. My second began with a brother. My toxic trait is not reading anything about the book. If you vaguely mention it and it sounds interesting to me at all, or if the cover is really cute, like I'm gonna buy it." When I started reading this, I didn't read the, what is it called? Not the prologue, the blurb, like what is that even called? I didn't read any of that. It's the female main character and she meets one of the male main characters. Then something happens and along comes the brother. And I was so like caught off guard by this plot development because I was like, oh my God, his brother? Like we're really his brother? Okay. So to me, I'm thinking in my mind like, this is so out of pocket, this is so unexpected. Meanwhile, it's literally on the front cover, so I'm just an idiot for being surprised by that, first of all. Second of all, I didn't expect there to be any spice in this book, and there hasn't, well, no, there hasn't been like descriptive spice, but like it's definitely, no, okay, yes, I take that back. There has been. I completely take that back because there was this one scene where I feel like it's just completely unhinged, like it's just unhinged. That's all I'll say. I feel like if you've read this book, you'll know the first time something happens, that scene. So unhinged to me. I was like just reading that, and I think I just had my mouth covered the whole time because my only response was, she did not. They are not. What? Like, just could not believe my eyes. So that's been very interesting. I feel like it's so different when you go into a book expecting it to be like a really hot, steamy, spicy book. Because like sometimes I'm just in the mood for spice. You just read a book because it's a really good spicy book. But I feel like when you go into a book expecting it to not be spicy, and like this has obviously serious undertones and tragedy, and it deals with grief and all this stuff, but it's not in the way that I expected. Like I just was expecting this book to, I guess, feel feel a little bit more serious. I don't know if it's because I've just read the 7-Year Slip and like I have a couple books now that I've read that have been 5 stars and a 6 star that I'm getting a little bit more picky as I read. So like going through this, I feel like it's been a good story, but there's just some things that have happened where I'm just like laughing because I'm like, what? It's just so out of pocket that I'm like, it almost takes me out of the story because it's not really believable, which obviously it's a book, so like it's not going to be believable. There's some stuff in books that won't happen in real life, obviously, because they're fake. But I don't know if this is just me getting more picky the more and more I read, or if I'm just like being dumb, because like literally stuff will happen and I'm just like, what? I don't even know if any of this made sense. Besides that, I really like the female main character of this book. I really like how she's not like the stereotypical female main character. I feel like every FMC in every romance book is just the tiniest girl. She's just a teeny tiny girl, which I love that. Like I absolutely love that. But as someone who is not just a teeny tiny girl, it's so nice because in this book, the female main character is more curvy and she just has a different style. Like she's more of like a gothic baddie. And it's just so nice to read about different types of women because I have nothing against reading about the teeny tiny girlies. I love that. I love a man who is like 10 times bigger than you and she's just a teeny girl and like he's gonna throw her around. It's amazing. But also it's just nice to add some variety in about the types of people that I'm reading about so that it doesn't get stuck in your head that there's just like one type of girl that is like a main book character, if that makes sense. So I have really been liking that about this book, that she's not like the other girls. She's different. She's also very like stubborn and strong-headed, but not in a bad way. She has her own trauma, but she also is like out there doing the thing, but also not. She's a real girl. I like her. But I'm struggling to get over the whole thing with the brother because it's just like weird to me. It's just, if this happened in real life, that's just, I mean, but then it's a book. So like, should I be basing it off of if it would happen in real life? I don't know. So those are all of my very confusing thoughts on the book halfway through. I hope some of that made sense because I feel like I'm just conflicted. Like it's been a good story. There have been moments that I've just been pulled out of the story because I'm just like, I don't know. Anyway, I am going to read on my Kindle a little bit longer and then I will check in with you guys probably tomorrow night or tomorrow evening. Sometime tomorrow I'll check in with you guys and we'll probably finish this book tomorrow and then move on to our next. Okay. Next day, it's Valentine's Day Eve. I'm so excited for Valentine's Day tomorrow. I just finished up doing like last minute shopping for the kids, things to make them little Valentine's Day themed meals and leave them out their Valentine's Day stuff on the counters and stuff. So that just like put me extra into the mood. But for tonight, I am going to do a little bit of reading until both of the kids are asleep. Once they're both asleep, I am going to not organize, but just like set up all their Valentine's things on the counter so that when they wake up in the morning, it's like the first thing they see. I think I only have like 2.5 hours left of Darling Venom and I'm going back and forth between just finishing that and continuing reading Love and Other Words. I think right now I'm gonna just read Darling Venom on my Kindle. That way I can like be out on the couch in the dark with them and just be cozy and relax, at least until Bowie goes to sleep, and then I'll set up their Valentine stuff. Also today I tried to pick up My Dark Romeo to just like get a little farther into it because I'm either 10% in or 30% in. I know those are not similar, but those are the two numbers in my head and I don't know which one is correct. I'm either 10% in or 30% into My Dark Romeo, and I don't know, like I'm just not loving My Dark Romeo. I just feel like I'm not connected to the characters or the story really. Like even Darling Venom, even though it's not like, I don't think it's a 5-star read for me or even maybe like a 4-star read for me, the story is still so good that I am like genuinely invested and I want to keep reading to figure out what happens and whatever. Like I'm invested enough to like actually be interested to keep reading, but I feel like My Dark Romeo, nothing has really happened yet to like make me invested in finishing the story. So I don't know. I'm gonna read Darling Venom, finish that probably, set up the Valentine's Day stuff, and then I will check in with you guys. So It is much later. It's actually the end of the night. You would not believe the day that I had. It's been a day. And I'm just going to explain to you what I've been through in the last few hours while I take off my makeup because I need to get this off my face. I'm like so just over it. So start off the day amazing. We had a cute little Valentine's breakfast like you saw. I made the kids heart waffles and my mom and my sister came over to have breakfast with us. It was just like so cute. And then we all hung out until probably like 11-ish. And then my mom went home because she had to finish working and my sister went to see one of her friends. After that, me and Mark played card games for a little bit. And then I remembered that I needed to film a video. I had to film my journal update, like updating my reading journal for February and like filling out my January spreads because it's already like halfway through the month and I haven't even had time to do that. So I was like, okay, I need to like make time to do that before the month is over. So I did that. And of course that took me so much longer than I expected because everything just always takes me so much longer than I expect. I feel like I have the worst time management skills ever. I just always expect things to take like 30 minutes, maximum an hour. I really thought that I could get my journal done in like 2 hours max. Like that would be me taking a long time. And I literally was just doing that for like probably 6 hours maybe. I don't know. I'm just like such a perfectionist and like I also obviously enjoy journaling. So I put on like a YouTube video and I just like enjoy myself. And I feel like the time just goes by so fast every time I'm doing something like that. So it of course took me so much longer and I was like, you know, that's fine. That's just the reality of reading is that sometimes other things come up and like you want to read all day, but you just can't. Like I would have loved to just read all day today, but I needed to also get other things done and then it ended up taking a long time. So anyway, I finished that and I was on the very end of my journal and I just needed to film like an outro for the video and I went to record it and my SD card said that it was full. Normally I move all the footage onto a hard drive, but my hard drive was full and I haven't bought a new one yet. They're like really expensive and I haven't decided if I'm gonna go with the same brand I've been using or if I'm gonna switch it, and so I haven't bought a new one yet because I haven't decided what I'm gonna do. I went to move everything onto my laptop instead. When I thought all the footage was on my computer, I went to reformat my SD card so it was clear for me to record again, and all of a sudden it deleted all of the footage off of my computer. Well, not all of it, but like half of this video was gone. Like everything that you saw from me reading last night, all of today, like all of that was gone. So then I was like just so defeated because it just was so devastating to see it all be gone. So I kind of gave up on getting it back, but then Mark helped me and he convinced me to keep trying, and we ended up finding a software that I was able to download and recover the deleted files, but it literally just took like an extra 3 hours probably to figure that out. And then once I recovered all the files, I still had to finish the video, so then I did that. And now it's just the middle of the night. And I was planning on spending all Valentine's Day with you guys reading, but this is just real life, you know, like I've really been trying to come to terms with everything not going to plan, and I'm usually a go with the flow person, but I feel like I'm only a go with the flow person when it's not like my plans. Like if I'm doing something with a group or my friends, like I really could care less what we're doing. I could care less if the time we're going changes, if the place we're going changes, if the day we're going changes. I don't care. But when it comes to my productivity and like something that directly relies on me, I'm really hard on myself about like feeling productive and feeling accomplished and feeling like I got everything done that I needed to get done. And I know that it's not the best to be that way, and I keep trying to remind myself. My sister shared this quote with me that says your value is not based on your productivity, and I really try and remind myself that because I feel like I do place a lot of my value on like how much I get done and how much I accomplished and what I was able to do that day or that week or that month or whatever. Like I'm always just measuring like, well, what did I do, instead of just like how much did I enjoy today or how much did I enjoy this week or this month or whatever. And I don't know if it's just because it's Valentine's Day and it's like not only do you want to like show love to all the people around you, but another thing I'm trying to like do more is also show love to myself. Like I keep seeing people post if you were outside your body and like you were your best friend, like how would you treat yourself and just like stuff like that. And I don't ever really think about myself like that. I'm just like me, but I'm really trying to treat myself better and treat myself like my friend, like how I would treat any of my friends, instead of being so hard on myself, because I really am so hard on myself. And obviously I'm not going to break those habits overnight, but I'm really trying. But it was so hard to stay positive through all of that and have the day be gone now at the end of the night. But I'm trying to stay positive. I was able to get that video done, so I won't have to worry about doing that. And another positive is I was able to recover the footage, even though it took so long to recover the footage. I was able to do it, so that is a huge positive. Half this video would have been gone and it's not. So looking at the bright side, it could have been worse. I could have spent all of that time doing that and then still not been able to finish the video or recover the footage. So yeah. Anyway, that's like personal life update. Book update. Last night, I thought I only had an hour and a half left of the book, but I actually had 2.5 hours left of the book. So last night, I think I read for 30 minutes where I just got so tired and I decided to go ahead and set up the kids' Valentine stuff before I just like fell asleep and didn't do it because I wanted it to be there when they woke up. So today I still had like an hour and 40 minutes left. I did read for a little bit while the footage was trying to be recovered because I was just like in such a bad mood and I was like, honestly, let me just do something that I will at least enjoy a little bit and maybe put me in a better mood because I'm really enjoying Darling Venom and I want to know what happens. I just like have not had time to finish it. So I really want to finish it. So even though it's late, I think I'm going to just finish it and then I'll probably give my final thoughts in the morning. But yeah, I just wanted to like update you guys because the entire day has passed and last time I saw you it was the morning and we were doing Valentine's things. So this was like an abrupt change, but honestly, it was just like such a long day. And all that to say, I'm trying to be positive and not be hard on myself that the day is over. But yeah, I hope you guys all had an amazing Valentine's Day. Even if you didn't have a Valentine, I hope you were your own Valentine. That's another huge thing, is just, even though I'm married, I feel like I have found it to be so important to still like not date myself, but just still treat myself and like show myself love as well. Even though I have Marky and he's like so loving and everything, just like dating yourself and showing yourself love. So even if you didn't have a Valentine, I hope you still had an amazing Valentine's Day and you treated yourself and took yourself on a date. Just enjoyed yourself and showed yourself love. But I'm gonna finish my skincare and then do that. The next morning, I finally finished Darling Venom on my Kindle last night. I feel like towards the end of that, I just was like ready for it to be done. Not because the story was bad, but I felt like I was just ready to be done being in that world. And I don't know if it's because technically Valentine's Day was over and I was connecting it so hard to Valentine's Day because obviously a part of the plot takes place on Valentine's Day and I was reading it on Valentine's Day. I don't know. That was like kind of a struggle for me to finish. I liked the story. I just was like ready for it to be done. So I did finish Darling Venom. I'm like kind of torn on a rating for this because here's the thing. I'm not emotionally connected to the characters, but it wasn't a bad book. That's the thing. I just think that, okay, first of all, let me say this. Like I kind of explained, one of the main plot points is that she falls in love with her first love's brother. It says that on the front page. I didn't read that. That wasn't even in my mind as something that was gonna happen. That's my fault. It just caught me off guard. And I think throughout the whole book, that was one thing that I just like was on the fence about because it just felt so weird. I really loved the plot that had to do with the original brother that she was friends with. I loved everything to do with that and the after story of everything that happened. I loved that, but every time it came to scenes between her and the brother, it just felt like almost forced, the romance part of it, because they would be talking about real things like grief and tragedy and loss and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden he's like, but I want her so bad. Why am I thinking this right now? And it felt very like off, or like not, it didn't, I don't know. Like I like romance scenes where it comes naturally through the scene. I don't know. I don't know. It felt off. Okay, so that was one thing throughout the whole book that I just like, I wasn't fully rooting for them to get together. And that's like one of the main plots of the book is like them falling in love. So that was like the first thing for me. The second thing was the characters, like their issues felt so repetitive to the point where I was like, I feel like they've had this conversation before. I don't know. I just think this is not my favorite book, but it wasn't bad. I felt very long for what it was. I feel like it could have been shorter and still been as good of a story. But I don't know. It was good though. The actual plot kept me engaged and I wanted to like know what happened. But I just feel like also nothing happened. I don't know. I'm gonna rate this 3 stars. I don't dislike it, but I also don't love it. It's just like a good book that I read. And now I'm ready to move on to the next. So I feel like that fits the category for 3 stars. It's good. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just good. Okay. Moving on to Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I haven't even talked to you guys at all about this book actually. This book is about 2 childhood best friends. Basically, the girl, her mom passed away at a really young age and her dad ended up buying this like lake house, and anytime she's feeling sad or like on weekends or just like whatever, they'll always go to the lake house and like spend time there just to like get away from their life at their normal house. But at the lake house, their neighbor is like this huge family of all boys and she ends up befriending one of the boys. And so it basically tells their story of like how they became best friends throughout childhood and like just all the moments that they spent together throughout childhood. But the thing is, something happened. You don't know what, but something happened and then they go 11 years without speaking. And so this book kind of bounces back and forth between their childhood story and then their adulthood story. It'll say like October 8th, 8 years ago, and then it'll say November 12th, now, for each chapter, whatever. And it's also dual POV, which I love dual POV. I love hearing what they're both thinking about each other. I feel like it just is so good. That's basically what this book is about. And honestly, I was kind of nervous about this book because so many people love this book. And I feel like when I think of childhood friends to lovers, it doesn't really excite me. I just feel like it was not going to be my favorite thing. I don't know if any of the books that I've read have been childhood friends to lovers yet. This might be my first book that has the childhood friends to lovers trope. Like, I really didn't think that I would like it because my thing is enemies to lovers. I love the tension. I don't know. I love that. And with childhood friends to lovers, I feel like there would be none of that, you know, like what's the issue that they have to overcome? They just are friends and then they fall in love. That's boring, you know? So I was a little bit worried because so many people love this book and I thought maybe I wouldn't end up loving it as much as other people because the fact that it's childhood friends to lovers. But this has been so enjoyable. I started it on audiobook and the way that I was literally smiling and giggling and saying, oh, and like stopping what I was doing to just like listen to the story because it was just so sweet and cute and like the characters feel so real. And that's what I love about books, whenever characters feel real, because that's what makes me emotionally attached to characters because they feel real. So it's like, how can I not get attached when your story is so believable and so real? But I don't know. I love their love for each other. Macy and Elliot together are just so pure. I don't know. I love it. And maybe it's the fact that you get to see them slowly go from meeting each other to becoming friends to thinking about wanting to become more to like wanting to become more. And I'm really nervous because I think I only have like 100 pages left of this or a little over 100 pages. And it says in the book, like something happened 11 years ago and then they go the whole 11 years without talking to each other. And I still haven't found out what it is. So I'm like, okay, I know something is about to happen. There's going to be a conflict in the past, but then it's going to have to show also how they're going to resolve it in the future or like the present, I guess. But I don't know. The way that Elliot loves Macy is so pure. Elliot is just chef's kiss. One of the first scenes that you get of them together in the present, he was like, we were everything. Like we were everything for each other. And I was like, I don't know. He's hitting. Okay, he's hitting. I love them together. I'm really, really, really excited to finish this. I'm just so interested to see what happens though. Like I need to know what happens in the past and how they resolve it now. So I have around like 100 pages left. So I want to finish it, figure out what is the conflict that happened. How are they going to solve it? How does this book end? So gosh. What a wild ride. I finished the book. That was a wild ride. When I got to the conflict of the story, I was devastated. I was truly devastated. I did like the ending. I don't know. I feel like this was such a good book. I don't think it's a 5-star read for me, but it's so close. I think that I'm gonna give this, I think I'll stick with 4.5 stars. As much as I do understand the conflict after there was an explanation and like it was kind of resolved, I don't love that that is what happened. But I don't know. I just love Elliot. Like, I just love him so much. He is so obsessed, and not even like obsessed in like a toxic way. It's just Macy is just the center of his world. Like, she is the center of his world, the love of his life, the light of his life. No other girl will compare. They just are like destined to be together, like childhood friends to lovers. I mean, I really didn't think I would like this trope, and I absolutely ate it up. Let me see if I can find something he said, and I literally was like, oh my god, I'm sobbing. I'm absolutely sobbing. Actually, did I take a picture? He said, I love you so effing much. I love you and I lust you and I want you. I love you as the person I want to be with forever. That's so cute. That's just so cute. One thing about me is I've realized that I really like whenever either of the characters, whenever they go out of their way to like overly explain things that people would normally explain shorter, if that makes sense. Like, normally people would just be like, I just love you so much, like with my heart and soul. But it's like, I love you, I lust you, I want to be with you forever. Like, whenever you just abundantly express your emotions, that just, it gets me. And I see why so many people love this book. So 4.5 stars. I am not going to finish My Dark Romeo in this video. I kept like picking up my Kindle and trying to get back into it, and I just am not interested. It's not even like how people said they DNF'd it because they didn't like the male main character. I don't think I got far enough into it for me to really dislike the male main character like that. I think that I just am not interested in the story right now, and I don't want to sit here and force myself to read this and put myself into a slump because I genuinely just have no desire to read this. Oh, that's weird. Look at this page. The page like extends. Oh, that's so weird. Anyway, that was so random. I just am not in the mood. So that is where I'm going to end today's video. I'm glad that we at least did read 2 really good books. Thank you guys so much for spending Valentine's Day with me. Like I was kind of saying yesterday, I hope everyone had an amazing Valentine's Day and you showed your self-love and you had amazing days with your partners or your families or whoever you chose to celebrate with. Make sure to subscribe and I will see you guys in my next video.